Welcome to the Hyannis Main Street and Waterfront Historic District Commission. Today is April 5th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. To all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable's Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission ordinance under Chapter 112, Article 3 of the Code of the Town of Barnstable, you are hereby notified that a hearing is being held at Town Hall, 367 Main Street, Hyannis, Mass., Selectmen's Conference Room, second floor, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. Please note that this meeting will be recorded and broadcast on Channel 18 in accordance with MGL Chapter 30A, subsection 20. Anyone taping this meeting to please make their presence known. I would also request that people silence, put on vibrate, whatever their cell phones, so that they do not interrupt the meeting. Thank you. Welcome to everyone. I am going to call the meeting to order. I'll go from our newest member. Thank you very much. We're glad to have you. This is technically your second meeting because you attended the planning joint meeting, but it's your first one of these. So this is Jennifer Hinckley-Needham. We're very pleased to have you, and a full voting commissioner. Matt Clark is not able to come tonight. Commissioner Cronin?
Here.
Yeah, got it. Commissioner Doherty?
Here.
Commissioner Despotopoulos is unable to make it. Commissioner Kay is still trying to take care of the floodwaters in California. But he did send a message, and he also sent a letter, so don't let me know. And I, Cheryl Palcher, am also here tonight. So that is our call to order and roll call. I want to also welcome Town Councilor Betty Lucky for coming. She's our Town Council liaison and very valuable to us, and we love your coming to the meetings. I'll skip the purpose and proper procedure tonight because I think most of us know with regard to that. We have two continued business applications, both with regard to Paramount Flora at 641 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 132. Would the people representing that please like to come forward and to sign in? Right there. Yeah, and if you could adjust the mic so you can be heard, please. Give this to you here, or we can fill it in. It would be just with regard to that, the map 308, parcel 132.
Yeah, I can find it.
She knows where to find you. Yeah. I know. Got it?
Excellent.
Okay, please continue. Tell us more about your application. This is a continued one. And actually, because it's a continued one, the question on open meeting law is, do we have a quorum for it? Because, Jen, you were not here for that one.
It was a quorum, but, it was a continuation, but no discussion was had on the matter. It was just a straight open and continue. So I think my recommendation would be that Jen is eligible for tonight.
Thank you. Okay. Technicality. Thank you. Okay. Please proceed.
Okay, I'm not, it's my first time here, well, my second time, I guess, but first time that so I'm not exactly sure what everybody needs to know, but we're looking to put a flower shop at 641 Main Street. And we need to put a sign out front and we're looking to put a new patio out front. So I'm not.
Yeah, please go ahead and tell us.
So I think everybody has some pictures as far as what we're looking at for a sign.
Let me just go grab one of them. Does anyone not have one?
I have not seen a sign.
Let's see if it's up to date.
Yeah, there's an updated one.
641. I've got it.
I got it, thank you.
Anyone not have the updated? Okay. Okay.
And I think we're doing two things, the sign and the patio separate, right? So sign's going to go above the door and out on a steel bracket cable back to the building. Not sure what everybody needs to know.
Okay, well, we got a picture of it. That's a sign. Shall we do the patio at the same time, or would you like to keep them separate?
Either way's fine with me.
Can I suggest, if nobody has an objection, we do the two together, and if there tends to be problems that arise, we can then separate them in the motion. Is that fair? Please go ahead.
All right, and there's, we're going to do a granite patio in the front. It's roughly 12 by 30, and it's got just a small decorative wall around it with fieldstone granite top, 4 lights. Lights. I think there's also a picture of that. It's just as far as a rendering.
Where's the picture of the lights?
It's
There.
in the top.
They're on
Oh,
top of the-
those. Oh, yeah,
They
they're
kind
very
of blend
dark.
in
You
with the
can't see.
building.
Yeah,
The
they
one on
do.
the end you can see better. It's, again, just a,
Oh, they're the same as these. Oh, okay, the colonial lights.
yep,
They're all the same?
yep.
Okay. So for those who can't go to the far edges? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you can't tell on the center tube.
Yeah, they kind of blend in with
Yeah,
the
they
building.
do.
What is the use of the patio? Is that just display, or are you going to have tables, or?
Yeah, just display, we'll have flowers, plants out there, arrangements. Mostly because the patio that was there was terrible.
Any other questions from the commissioners on the presentation?
The sign materials or the lighting materials are not included? Do we have a,
It's a steel bracket with, it'll probably be an AZAC sign with vinyl lettering.
and we'll have to double check to make sure they were within the color scheme of the historic?
So,
Usually there's like,
Yeah,
you
there's
provide
the
like a
set
color
list, yeah.
scheme that you work with the planning and they can
okay,
verify the colors for you and the materials,
work with them.
right?
Yes, you had a list last time that you were going to put together. Did you happen to bring that this evening?
List that I was gonna put,
I might have.
so, yeah, I mean, it's got on the metal.
You wanted to run down that list, perhaps it would help the
Okay.
commissioners.
Excellent. So the signs, it's a metal bracket. The steel bracket's 9 feet and it's 2x2 tube steel. Pro sign, it's black lettering with the green logo and a green band. The bracket, I figured black. 2 LED lights on the sign too, lighting it up at night.
All right.
So I think that would be okay as long as the color is within
Yeah.
the scheme that you work with, planning.
We can put into the motion that it matches up with the, what is there, 100 and something colors that we have on that list? You should be able to find one on there that's pretty close to what you want,
Is it
if not
green?
identical.
Yep.
There are lots of greens, yellows, blues.
And the lighting, would it be on the sign? Would it be from the ground up?
On the bracket of the sign, yeah.
On the bracket of the sign?
I have two questions. One, where this is going, does that encroach on the sidewalk
Nope, it's before the sidewalk,
before the sidewalk? Okay,
so it stays over the patio.
okay.
The veneer stone, that's veneer stone, not real stone.
Correct.
Correct. Is this the actual stone that's going to be,
It's a field stone veneer, yeah.
it's going to look like this?
Yep.
Any more questions from the commissioner? Please.
On the lighting? Do you have the materials on the lighting as well?
The post lights,
Yeah, the ones that will be.
I don't know I don't know the exact fixture name. That was the closest I could get, but it's I don't have the exact fixture name.
I think what we want, just want to make sure that they are within the guidelines that we would.
That's one
want
of
in
my questions.
historic as
How much,
well.
when I get to staff. Any more questions?
No, it was just the lighting, the signs, and those would be lit lights. I mean, they would be lit as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am going to ask for staff if there's, with regard to the LED lights and also the styling. The styling looks like it fits within the historic, but with regard to the LED lights, is there anything we need to be concerned about here?
Right, so just, so Jim Cupfer, Senior Planner, Planning and Development, just confirming that they're not internally lit. You have up or down gooseneck lighting or something of, yeah, on the sign itself. And then, as Laura was mentioning, for the lighting, so you're talking like a metal frame that's going to go around those, right? Or that is the lighting
On the
fixture?
pillars?
Yeah, on the
Yeah, like
pillars, they'll be metal.
Exactly.
And they would be a black, probably?
Correct.
Okay, so if the commission conditioned it as black and metal, you'd be
Yep.
fine with that? Okay.
And you also questioned about the gooseneck lighting.
Right, so whatever the commission wishes to discuss with the applicant, but a material and a color again, and that it's not internally lit. So if you have a metal, perhaps, and if you're wishing to do up or down lighting,
Yeah, it goes on the sign bracket, so it just lights up the sign. It's their LED. I'm pretty sure it's a metal casing on the light.
Is it gooseneck or other? Do you
It's
know?
a bar.
Oh, so the bar across the top or something?
It'll go on the bottom lighting
On the
up,
bottom
but-
and light up.
Yeah,
I imagine you'd be able to get that in like a black or,
yeah. I can make it black.
yep.
Yes.
Least of my worries.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, so, any other questions from the commissioners before, can I turn it over to Town Council Liaison?
Yeah, I just had a couple comments. In the photo, there's a tree there, and it's not in your rendering. Are you going to chop down the tree?
It's already
It's
gone.
already down.
Oh, it's already down. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
the
good.
constru-
It was in pretty poor shape.
Was it? Okay.
Are
Are you
they-
planning to put any trees back, or would it,
Well, it's a solid patio, so
no?
not in that location.
Okay. And then the other thing, I just think it's a curious architectural mixture of Tudor with the stone. I'm just saying that, it's just a curious mixture, but the stone is certainly probably more, I mean, I would see like a stucco on your patio wall to mix with the building, but, I'm not, it just seems a curious mixture, but the stone is gonna be much more easy to maintain, certainly.
Yeah.
Tudor does have stone. They won't have concrete usually, but traditional Tudor, a lot of them will have stone
Yeah.
or brick.
Okay,
Or
that was
brick.
it.
Is the patio concrete?
Granite.
It's granite. Okay, that's what I thought.
So it's concrete underneath and then granite on top.
Right, but it'll be granite.
Yep.
That'll be the top.
Are there going to be any like shrubberies out on the patio? Because you took out the shrubbery that was there. Like,
We were thinking planters, window box, more than,
flower shop. I'm
it's a
sure.
flower
Yeah,
shop,
I'm
right?
sure you-
Yeah, so, yeah, we were going more flowers, was more of our thought process on that.
Okay.
Trying to think of where we could, I'm sure we could add some shrubs somewhere, I can't think of any spot there.
Maybe
Handle
put
it
some,
on the, like on the side, on the,
Or in the corners. Well, actually, wouldn't
Put
want
a
it in the
big-
corners.
yeah.
you could put a big pot out there with a big plant. I mean, I think that would give you the same effect.
Right, yeah, we could definitely, we're definitely gonna have some plants out there.
Yeah,
you know.
I would hope so.
Because, the picture here, I drove past it today, and you have all the walling already up on the patio. And it's really right.
It goes right up, the sidewalk is, yeah, we went right out to the sidewalk, which is where the patio went to before. There were a couple planter boxes in there. We started, I didn't realize I had to come before. So I did put the cart before the horse on this a little bit.
Just asking.
My apologies.
You're doing fine.
But, on the left-hand side, we could definitely add some planting or something there. Even,
I know, because when I drove by today, I noticed that the tree was gone also, and it's just like it's so close to the road, it needs some softening somewhere along.
Yeah. I would have thought as a flower shop, you'd want to encourage people with flowers, yeah. It's kind of,
I thought it was definitely planters, not,
Shrubs.
yeah.
yeah, planters. A lot of, because it's Tudor, a lot of the English Tudor houses in England would have the planter boxes like on the concrete here,
Right.
or on the walls.
On the walls, right?
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, by the way, I apologize, I did not introduce staff, Jim Kupfer from Planning and Karen Herron from Planning. I apologize for that oversight. Looks, Laura, like you have
One more
something else.
The front, is that a step up to the patio, or is it, I can't tell if that's,
There is,
Like a
yeah, it does step,
graduate.
there is one step there, yeah.
Yeah.
there'll be a step
There was a step.
and not a gradual walk-in? I don't know if there's any specifications for steps. I'm new to this, too. Are there any
Jim, is there any
specifications?
specifications? I don't think there is.
Well, just for building code, but that, not for our design
the
regulations.
HHC.
For building code?
Yeah, building code would have to discuss that with
Okay.
them.
Yeah,
Okay,
so building code will take care of that.
that is,
I would personally suggest something metallic type thing, illuminated to mark the step up, but that's for building code. Just simply for in the dark, so
I'm done.
people know there's a step
Yeah.
there. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to open it up for public comment. Is there anyone from the public who has anything to say about this? Nope. Okay, I'll leave public comment open until the motions. Commissioners, what do you think about it?
I think it's going to look really nice,
Yeah.
cleaning that
comply with
end
it.
of Main Street up. It's going to bring a nice interest onto that end of town.
Thank you.
I would agree, especially with flowers.
Affiliated with the bee flower shop at the end, right there? Or no, not at all?
We have a flower shop currently in Osterville. So we're actually taking the flower shop out of there. We're going to leave the nursery and the landscape
And do
there.
it there.
And then,
That'll be
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, they're very excited. We're really cramped in there.
Yeah.
Great building. It's a
Yeah.
great building.
Yeah.
I think it's going to definitely, I think it's going to be good.
Good.
We're excited.
Anything more from staff? Town council? All right, so in that case, I'm going to close it down for public comment, and would one of the commissioners like to make a motion on the findings, please?
I move that the commission find the application to be compatible with preservation and protection of the district.
Second?
And just to clarify, that is with regard to the
Fine and patio.
Paramount Floral, 641 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 132, and that is with regard to both the sign and the exterior patio, so it's both of the applications. Everybody fine with that to be added?
Yes.
And that you will communicate with planning with regard to make sure it's a color that's appropriate. I assure you, there's plenty of variations.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. So, Commissioner Doherty,
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin, Commissioner Hinckley Needham.
Aye.
Say aye. So would a commissioner like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please, with regard to the same address with the added that they will liaise with planning with color and the black on the light.
Black on the white.
So is this the second?
This is the second one.
I'll move it.
Thank you.
I move to issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application at the address described at 641 Main Street, as described in the submittal materials.
Is there a second?
Second.
2 seconds. Okay. Commissioner Hinckley Needham. Aye. Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
I also say aye. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing
Thank
that,
you.
especially in the summertime.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to Hyannis.
Thank you. Do we talk about the color of the sign? Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Have a good evening. Okay, My Generation Energy for Ronald Bourgeot, owner, 71 Main Street, Hyannis, map 342, parcel 019, with regard to solar roof panels. Hi. If I could get you to sign in, please.
Sure.
Do you need the numbers for that?
Yes.
be here. Thank you. Okay.
Good evening. Andrew Wade, representing the owner of 71 Main Street. I'm with My Generation Energy, solar company based here in Hyannis, and we are proposing a 48-panel system at 71 Main Street. The panels we've proposed are all black. The rails are black and end with the end of the panels, so we don't have rails sticking out beyond the end of the panels. The one roof that is visible from the street is the roof with the existing skylights, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions on the presentation? Do you have pictures of that, by the way?
I think these were in the package here, so that's...
Let's see if anything's changed on that.
The ones that are going to be visual from the street, you have a gray roof on there right now, right?
It's a gray roof, right? It's a, yep.
And these are all going to be black, and, which I think will be fine. It'll look like a black roof, but you have two panels here that are, will that be in the corners? Will that be the gray showing through, or?
Yeah, so those corners have existing plumbing stacks, and that's why there are not panels located there. So
What is it?
vent stacks. So for the plumbing in the building, that's why those two corners don't have panels. So you would see the roof there because the plumbing stack is.
And then the others, the one on, is there any way you can make that darker with, just so it wouldn't be sticking out?
There are ways. Obviously, one would be re-roofing, which would be an expensive way to do it. I have heard of one other application where in a historic district they did paint the roof. Yeah, black paint on the roof. There's ways to do it. Not something that we've done before.
Okay. So, but that's the only thing you see from the road.
Correct.
The others are all behind and the building. This, I know, I went past there, okay. Okay.
There could be an option if so in terms of being symmetric on that roof. There's the lower row, so there's the two corners that are missing. If we moved those four panels to one of the other roof areas, like this rubber roof that currently has four panels, that would be more of a rectangular shape. You would still see the gray roof. Remove those panels from.
When all these panels are up, do you see the roof underneath? No.
No,
No.
it would just be dark.
It
Yep.
would just be dark.
Yep.
Okay.
So it'd make it look like the roof is dark, although they're panels.
Right.
But I like the idea of moving the others so they're not seen as much over to the other part, and then you see more of the roof.
Well, then you would see more of the roof.
Yeah. Did you want to say anything else on the presentation? Okay. Any more questions from the commissioners?
I'm with Tom on that as far as having these in the historic district to make sure that there are at least some symmetry to it. Now, what you're saying is move those four off, we still then have that area, and then also in the middle of that, rather than trying to see if they could just paint the roof a darker color. I don't know that they could paint it, though. You'd probably have to resurface it of some sort.
How do others feel about that?
I think that would be better, yes.
Yeah.
Relocating them to the back. Relocate them, you think?
Yes, yeah.
The four panels in the bottom of that
The
roof.
front.
So, yeah, the other panels would have to stay where they are because you have those vent stacks, so that keeps them up. So you would have just the bottom,
Bottom four.
you have 3.5 feet of that roof exposed, but then everything else would be black pretty much.
And Laura, Commissioner Cronin, were you suggesting to paint the roof?
No, if they were going to keep it like this, I would think to keep those two corners dark. Other historics have done that as far as making sure that the owner does do something a little bit more symmetry.
Okay.
What do you mean, keep them dark, or the
I
two?
would, yeah, if they were going to keep those four panels in the front, rather than showing the gray in the front, I would suggest that they disguise it, if you will, to black,
Right. Oh,
so that you have that.
What I originally said.
Yes,
just
what you
yeah,
originally said.
Right, I'd rather have
Yeah.
that,
Right.
if you could just do that black.
Yeah, the one place I have seen that in a few towns over, but in Brewster, Luke's Liquors in Brewster on 6A, they have black panels and they painted the roof black behind the panels. And if you wanted to see what,
That part of the building is a historic part of the building, and it's a beautiful building. The rest of this is all added on, so the building itself, I feel personally needs work, but, I think this roof would be distraction from that building.
So your proposal is
That they darken the two corners.
darken the two corners, okay.
it could give us the opportunity to paint the vent stacks that are there are white. We could paint those black too while we're there. Yep.
Idea. Any more questions for clarification from the commissioners before I open it up to public comment?
I have a question.
Yes,
Would there be
please.
anything, would you see any wiring or anything,
Good question.
or would it just be the panels? Is there anything else that we'd see up there or go
Yeah.
into there?
That is a good question. So that's the main pitched roof that we're talking about, and then the other roofs are fairly flat. Where we would be coming off with conduit would be down the back side that you wouldn't be able to see from the street. So this is the roof we were referring to. Here is an open wall where we'd have our equipment mounted. So our combiner panel, we're using microinverters, so no big string inverter on the side of the building, but it would be all back here. And so that's where the conduit would come down. And so I don't think you would see that because it would be across this flat rubber roof and then off the back corner. But nothing, no exposed wire on that roof or down that side of the building.
I have panels on my house over the entire back, and I must admit wiring has not been an issue. I thought it would be, but it wasn't. Surprisingly wonderful. Any more questions for clarification?
Well, kind of a clarification on the process. The building is in bad shape. That's not his issue. This is trying to put panels on there. But I guess I'm just trying to, we're putting panels now in this historic area district, but there's nothing we can do about getting the property owner to do anything about the building. It just seems kind of,
Frustrating.
yeah.
I know.
I mean, is the roof even in a shape to take them in? I imagine
Yeah.
that would be something you would do, but from the street side, it looks in pretty bad shape.
And it's a beautiful building,
It was, yeah.
but the additions are done horribly on the building.
I don't suppose that's within our purview.
Out of our realm. of
Certainly
jurisdiction.
make a recommendation.
I think we can make a recommendation, but I don't think we can, because that's not what the
Absolutely.
application is about. But,
But the developer is asking for this.
yes, that's correct. I think it would be nice to see the building intended to, but maybe this is the first step that they're dealing with.
Yeah, I can't speak to that.
It's not his, that's why I said.
It's putting you in a spot, and
it's
you
not
can't,
his issue.
yeah, it's
It's a
exactly.
very crowded building, too. Like, it's 16 mailboxes out
Oh,
front.
really? I didn't know that.
16 mailboxes out front, so it's a very well-occupied building.
Okay.
Question, real quick.
Yes,
Is this the first, maybe I ask you, is this the first building that has solar panels in the historic?
There's quite a few of them.
Is there?
Yes.
You really don't notice.
We've
them.
already established a
notice them.
precedent.
I bet, yeah, okay.
One of the things that we do, just as you know, is we try to keep it to where they're not seen from the road. So that's why that question came up earlier. So I'm going to open it up to public comment. Is there anyone from the public who has a comment on this? Okay. So staff, any comments?
Yeah, just one clarifier, just the framing around the panels, black as well, I imagine.
It is.
Okay.
In the back sheet behind the wafers is black, so it's a full dark
Perfect.
Yep.
That's all. That was my only clarifying question. Thank you.
Allergy season has arrived. So, all right. Excuse me. So, okay, so I'm going to leave public comment open. Anything more from staff?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so, and we've asked the questions. So what did the commissioners think of it?
I think it's fine. I think the roof is fine as long as they take care of the two corners.
Okay,
Yeah, I would not like to see the 4 panels removed and have all of that
Right.
bare. I'd prefer to see the corners, wherever the roof would be exposed to the street side, even if it's in the center there, be painted black or covered in black, wherever it needs to be.
darkened 2 corners or 4 corners?
Well, the 2 corners.
That's what I thought.
I would not like to see it. The other suggestion was to move them in the back, but then you'd have a larger space that's gapped. So having the corners covered, and then in the middle, you can see those 2 vent areas. Could they do the same thing?
I believe the applicant said that they would blacken that and,
Yeah, so the bottom corners in the middle, those are the skylights. So it would be, I don't know,
Skylights,
yeah.
they might not be necessarily
No, I
drawn to
wouldn't
scale
say.
here.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Are we okay for a motion? Can I invite one of the commissioners to make a motion on the findings and with the address, please?
I will. I move that the commission find the application to be compatible with preservation and protection of the district.
At 71 Main Street, map 342, parcel 019. Is there a second?
Second.
By Jen Needham. All right, so Commissioner Doherty,
Aye.
Commissioner Needham,
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
I also say aye. Would a commissioner like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please?
I move to issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application at 71 Main Street, as described in the submitted materials, as long as, I don't know how to describe this.
As per the discussion
As
for the
per
2 corners
discussion,
and the
okay.
vent stacks. Is that right?
Yes.
And you wanted to make a recommendation that they consider doing something
And yes.
yes, with the in-house. Okay, that's covered. All right.
Every weekend.
Is there a second?
A second.
Cronin seconded. So Commissioner Cronin? Aye. Commissioner Needham?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
I also say aye. I want to welcome our other town councilor liaison, who is Town Councilor Nick Atzwitz. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Welcome.
Nice to see you. Oh, thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
So Brazilian Grill, 674 to 680 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 047, with regard to signage. If you would please sign in. Do you need the numbers on that?
An update on this one.
So 047, 308, right?
Map 308, parcel 047.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Please tell us about your,
I believe this is for the change of sign. I believe last fall, the architect was here for the addition, right?
yep,
And now here to do the new sign, because the sign where it exists right now is going to be taken out.
excellent. So you want to tell us about the sign?
Well, it's a new logo that we've had for a while, and now that we're going to be adding onto the front, we are going to, instead of just moving the existing sign as it is, we're going to update and put our new logo on the front as well. So we have a sign up on the top over the front door with they're going to be gooseneck lights, and then we are going to have a sign down below on one of the rock walls with 2 LED lights that are going to be coming underneath. They're going to be in the brick. Yeah, I believe that I included with the application, I'm not
I
sure if I
think it
got
was
a,
in there when I read it.
Yeah,
Was it not?
did I?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I'm
seem to
not-
recall it was in
yeah.
there, yeah.
so you can see what it's gonna,
Yep.
what it looks like.
And you were very patient with this last autumn when we went through the fellow who came to represent
Yes.
it. Yes.
Yeah,
so we
the
appreciate
architects,
that.
yeah, they were.
They did a good job.
Thank you.
Do the commissioners have any questions with regard, oh, sorry, was there anything else you wanted to say?
I don't think so. You can, let me know what your questions are.
Is this the lettering?
No, 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 that's the company, that's the light fixture that's on the bottom of the page, that's what's going to be going underneath the lower sign. That's going to be in the ground.
This here, right?
Yes.
I got it, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want, yeah, just if you want an picture of what the lighting's going to look like.
So those would be raised lettering on there. It's not a flat sign, it's.
No, it's not. It's going to come out a little bit.
There's no picture of the actual finished sign, or?
That's what I'm trying to get an understanding. Are the letters going to be placed individually on the building, or are you going to have it on some other material in front? I don't understand. I can't get it clear.
So it's going to be a metal sign. Because I've got, let's see, trying to see how,
So it won't be clear through the back on the wood.
no, it will be pretty close to the wood. It shouldn't be that, I mean, it's going to be metal, so it's going to have to be mounted somehow.
I left mine at the office, but I read them all. So would you like to use this?
Yes. Okay. So yeah, both signs they're going to be aluminum.
Aluminum, okay.
I see it painted aluminum, but when I look at the picture, it looks like it's clear through, that
It's
it's.
not clear through.
Right. so
No,
it's
they're
gonna-
solid, the
so it's-
letters are solid.
But instead of seeing wood through the lettering, it's going to be metal, is what we're saying.
So they're individual letters. Yeah, so the metal letters, each one are going to be fixed to the
Okay, that's
to the
what I
wall.
was asking.
Yep.
Because that's what, yeah, no, that's okay, because it looks like that. And so what I thought you said it was going to be, on a piece of metal.
With the exception of, I believe, the Prime Steakhouse lettering at the
Oh, now I see what she's saying.
at the lower.
Oh, okay.
When I see it on the wood, I said, gee, that looks nice, but if you're going to have it mounted on another piece of metal, that might be a little different. But it looks nice like that. Oh, I see, in the bottom, the Prime Steakhouse would have,
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it too. I was confused in the beginning.
yeah.
I got
But
it.
it looked, yeah.
Looks
'cause
good.
the-
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry if I can't. My way of explaining is,
It's okay.
For these for the second time at the office, but I left them there, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it does look like it's raised, but I see. Okay. Anything more for questions from the commissioners?
Yeah, I think it looks great. Looks good.
thank you.
All right, so I'm going to open it up for public comment. And then I'm going to ask if either of our town councilors have any questions?
I do not.
Staff?
Just one clarifying, I think you mentioned at the very beginning here, but the freestanding sign that exists today is going to be removed entirely? Excellent, thank you. That's all.
And just to clarify, how many signs will there be in the end? After you take down the one, you replace the other, so there'll be two, or how many?
These two.
Just two, just
Yep.
want to make sure it's two, because we have a requirement on that.
Yes.
That's the way I read that as well. Okay. So, Commissioner Kernan?
The lower one, the Prime Steakhouse, is that going to be painted orange? Is that a different color?
It's supposed to be red. It might just be my printer just,
So this will be red.
yeah, it'll match the same coloring on the upper side.
It
They'll
does
both
look,
be-
it does look red.
Oh, these will both be red?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't see that on there.
All right, thank you. So, in that case, I'll close public comment. There's no other public comment. And would one of the commissioners like to make a motion on the findings?
I move that the commission finds this application to be compatible with the preservation and protection of the district of 674 Main Street.
Second.
So Commissioner Doherty. Commissioner Needham.
Aye.
I also say aye. So would one of the commissioners like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please?
I move to issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application at 674 Main Street as described in the submitted materials.
Start on this side of the table. Commissioner Cronin.
Aye. Oh, second?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Second. Now Commissioner Cronin, you're absolutely right. Thank you for that catch. Commissioner Needham.
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
I also say aye. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Another great presentation from the Pavilion Grove. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right. So next we have Gerard T. Burke, 27 Pleasant Street, Hyannis, map 327, parcel 124, with regard to exterior renovations, please. Hi.
Hello, good evening. Yes. My name is actually John Carey. I'm a local Hyannis resident, and I am actually the contractor on this project. Jerry is not able to attend tonight. So.
Tell us about your project.
So good evening. So I am working for the new owner of 27 Pleasant Street, which is an exciting project. It's the second oldest home in Hyannis. And our plan is to restore it basically in kind and kind of make it shine again. So we're going to be taking the outside down to the sheathing, re-waterproofing it, and then putting white cedar shingles, front clapboards. We're going to be painting the structure the same kind of antique. It's almost like a dark purple brown, and we're going to paint the trim the same color it is now, and basically clean it up, put a new roof on it, and then renovate the inside, along with some exterior landscaping and a property fence. We'll also be, there is an old shed out back that's collapsing. It's being held up by a couple trees. I have some pictures if you guys don't have some. And unfortunately, that thing is well beyond useful life and is actually dangerous. I did talk to the building inspector, and they seem to agree. So that's going to be coming down. You can't see it from the road or anything. And then I guess we will be doing a sign. It's not on this application, but I did bring pictures to kind of show you guys, and I think I'll be submitting next week. This week for the next meeting, if possible.
Okay, so is that the shed?
That's not the shed, that's the structure.
It is, I wasn't sure. When I was looking at it, I was trying, there it is,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Part of the structure looks like a shed.
Put that in here.
I submitted it,
Would you like
More
to pass that
details.
around? I
Yes.
think a picture says 1,000 words.
it's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't allow people in it now that I control safety on the site.
Interesting.
It's a beautiful building. It can be a beautiful building
really
when
is.
it's all done.
We're very lucky.
And it's big, because it goes really long.
Quite a size.
It's long. It's about 1,100 square feet. It's long. We're very lucky with the new owner. They're going to put some time into it, and it's going to look beautiful. It's going to be great, almost an addition. It's so beat now. We're lucky that somebody's going to save it.
Do you know what they're going to use it for?
It's going to be employee housing, and then there's going to be parking for commercial services on site.
Okay. And what kind of roof are you going to do? Is it going to,
There's existing asphalt, and we'll be replacing with asphalt. And we'll be, we're open to colors, but we're hoping for black. We think we have an interior designer on staff that's really going to make this place shine with kind of antique look and stuff.
it'll look, yeah, because it's just not going to be flat asphalt, right? It's a historic building. Did they make it look like shingle shakes, or, I'm sure it was a wood shake there originally.
Yeah, it's not going to be wood. It's going to be asphalt.
Shingles? Yes. In the,
Asphalt shingles, yeah,
on the siding?
on the roof.
On the roof.
On the roof?
Yeah, not on the siding. It's gonna be white cedar on the siding.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought I read.
And then the front clapboards, we put cedar. I recommend hardy, which you can't tell, it's all gonna be paint grade. And
May we see that?
much better longevity with hardy than cedar and maintenance stuff. Flaking, it'll be a better looking product for longer.
It looks real and it.
Yeah.
To pass that
Yep,
around.
and we have two options. There's a flat option and there's a fake wood grain. They're both beautiful once installed.
What is this for?
The first one you
I
had,
like
right?
I like the flat.
What is this for, material for?
It's gonna be a clapboard on the front, so it's a cement-based hardy plank, which is basically the exact same look as a cedar, but it holds the paint longer, and so the building will stay sharper, basically indefinitely.
I thought they were going to be, what, they were going to be cedar.
So the very front of the building is clapboards, and then the sides all cedar. So 3 sides are white cedar, and then the front, as it exists today, is gonna be clapboard. If you want to pass it around, that's, you're more
I
welcome
ju-
to.
I guess,
It does say trim is flat trim boards.
And the trim will, yeah, so the trim will be painted AZEK, the front will be clapboards painted, and then this other 3 sides will be white cedar.
That says siding.
Basically exactly how it
white
exists today is what we're going to replicate,
It will look 100 times better.
maybe a million times better.
1,000,000 times better.
It's pretty dilapidated.
I guess,
I'm glad you're gonna save it, you know.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yep.
cedar. Employee housing, is that for, you said it's going to be used for employee housing.
Yes, yeah. Yep, so there's going to be 3 employees, a local business, Cape Anna's business.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep, so it's going to be like almost 2 uses for commercials. It's great for, all parties involved. It's good reuse of the property.
Yeah, because you got those beautiful apartments across the street that we just put up, so that street's coming.
Yeah, it's coming along.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Any more questions from the
so I
Commissioner
guess
Cronin?
I'm a little confused. I thought that it's the second oldest building in Hyannis, in the town, and we're not putting it with cedar around the building, even though right now it has other materials, but I'm sure they didn't come before us to get those approved. And I'm just wondering, from a historic standpoint, should we not try to get as close as we can to materials that were made from?
Are you proposing that?
Well, I'm asking, is that our purview, or do we allow that in other
For to,
historic?
Well, I guess the question is the applicant proposing the hardy, and if the commission would prefer the cedar, then I think that's a discussion you guys should certainly have.
Then I guess that's what I'm asking, is that I would prefer to see the cedar on the outside.
okay. Oh, you say it all the way around?
Yes.
Okay. How do the other commissioners feel about that? Well, let me ask, how does that fit in with the plans?
It wouldn't look as good. It'd be a lot of color on that. It'd be a big purple blob. The beauty of that building is it offsets between the white cedar, and then it highlights the trim and the clapboard. So from an aesthetic standpoint, it would look much better, basically keeping how it is and how it's been.
Purple, brown.
It'd be a big
blob,
purple
yeah.
building if you did that, so I would not recommend that.
Okay.
If you put cedar shingles on the sides.
We are doing white cedar on the sides, right?
Just like
And so
that.
if we did clapboards on the entire structure, the entire thing would be painted.
No, I'm saying shingles
Instead of the clapboard.
instead of the clapper.
The clapboard is in the front, and then the
Yeah,
shingles
we're
are the other 3
replicating
sides.
exactly what's there today. The
Right.
front will be clapboard and the sides will be cedar
Oh, okay.
shingles, yeah. Yeah, do you see the pictures? We're
I did.
we're replicating what's there.
I get what's there, but it's also the second oldest
Those pictures
building
are tough, yeah.
in Hyannis, so I was
I
just.
have seen that done before, where you get the clapboard on the front and then you do the cedar shingles on
Yeah,
the side.
it's pretty common for these, well, as you guys know, you kind of showed off the front as the clapboards were very expensive to create, and then you'd use shingles everywhere else.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of these properties that do this exact same look. It's pretty common in Cape Cod, even dating back to 1700s.
But this is not, recreating the clapboard instead of having it, we could just shingle as well, correct?
The clapboard will only be on the front, which is this
Right,
facade.
and it's not going to be real materials, it's going to be synthetic.
Well, we can use cedar on the front if you guys prefer, but it doesn't last as long, so then in 5, 6, 7 years, it's flaking, and then it doesn't look as good. So by using a hardy plank, the paint holds better, and the building looks cleaner forever, basically.
How
It's
do
just
other-
my recommendation.
How do other commissioners feel about it?
You wouldn't be able to tell the difference driving by.
I've seen that done, and I agree with you. I think it's a cleaner
I've done it a few
look.
times.
You know, I have no problem with the way it's being done right now, with
The proposal, okay.
the proposal.
And staff? Get staff input?
Yeah, in terms of clarification questions, I do have two. First, the chimney, is that to remain? And
Yeah, there's 2 chimneys, both are going to remain. It will repoint as needed and reflash as needed, but they will stay.
Okay, excellent, thank you. And we are, in any recommendation, the removal of the shed should be included in there. In terms of the front facade, it's ultimately, a decision for the commission whether they prefer the as proposed or wood. Both are options for this commission to consider.
Okay. So, town
I have,
council liaison.
I guess you'd call it some comments and a question. I was reading in here that the owners are the owners of the Nantucket Hotel. And I find this fascinating because it is happening and I'm not opposed to it because I think commuting is a way of life, that perhaps these employees are commuting to Nantucket because it also says in here that you're going to have parking for people who are coming to the hotel on Nantucket and transiting through Hyannis. And we just had discussion yesterday with the Steamship Authority in terms of working some of their issues. And we have so much parking in Hyannis devoted to people, downtown Hyannis, where I'd love to see more housing devoted to people going to Nantucket. And I agree with Tom, this is a gorgeous property. It's absolutely precious. And you also say in here, you're going to take down some trees, probably for the parking. And I know in my precinct, again, because we don't have enough housing, we have so many people living in houses, it's like it's surrounded by a wall of cars. You see a residence, and this is the scale of a single-family residence, surrounded by 6, 8, 10 cars every night. Can you provide some more fidelity on the exact number of cars, the exact number of trees, and the exact number of parking? At first you said it was commercial use, but it says right here in the application it's going to be for people who are coming to stay at the hotel and commuting from Hyannis. So I think you need clarification because something that becomes precious becomes a monstrosity when you add the cars and you take down the trees.
Good point.
So I just think there needs to be clarification because it's not clear. It just says we'll take down some trees. So if you could clarify that, it would help, I think.
I think it's a valid point. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Are you able to clarify, or?
I can clarify. There's probably 110 trees on site. We want the property to look as good as possible. The trees that will come down will be 5, and they're mostly trees that are kind of overhanging the building, the structure. The place has been commercially parked for, I think, the last 20 years, so there's not a lot of trees in the way of our parking. It will mostly be just aesthetic and brightening up. It's a very dark, kind of overhung parking lot right now. And so I think you'll be very satisfied with the amount of trees that are left. So if there's 100 trees, we wouldn't take down more than 10, and most of them would be kind of little brush stuff as opposed to
And
big
how
ones.
many parking spaces will this have?
I think there's maybe 20 in all. I think right now it's approved for 25 or something. And it's been parking for the ferry for, like I said, the last 20 or so years.
Yeah.
So that is staying consistent with what it's been. but our goal is to improve the entire property. So when you drive by, you say, wow, that's a well-kept property, as opposed to right now, it's like, ooh, I probably wouldn't park my car there.
So, Mr. Carey, just to clarify, what you're saying is it's already approved for 25 parking spaces.
I don't know
and
the
it's gonna
exact
be-
number.
And it's going to be about 20, but you're not asking us to extend that or anything else, other than what it is, and that there's roughly 110 trees, and only about 5 are coming down that are overhanging the property. Is that about right?
If I have a picture, yeah, there's 3 right in front that overhang the property, and those ones will come down, I know. But there's 3 out front we're going to keep, and then the entire back is lined, and the right side's lined. Those are all staying. Our parking is inset from the property line, so anything on the property line will stay.
So the ones right in front will stay,
Yes, ma'am.
right along the streetscape?
Yeah, we're one of the few properties with trees still there.
I know,
bigger
that's
ones
why
are-
it's so precious.
The
Yeah.
bigger ones are all
But
to
those
the
are
left and along the back. It was just the scrub ones that,
Yeah, we're not going to clear cut. For sure.
That was a good question. Town Councilor
Yeah,
Atkins?
if I may, not all projects are the same. I mean, what's happening in one neighborhood isn't necessarily what's happening here. What I see, and this is the first time I've ever spoken at one of these meetings, but I feel compelled to. I've walked by, driven by this property dozens of times. This is going to be a huge improvement, what's being done there. As far as clapboard on the front and shingles on the side, that's an extremely common design of homes. I mean, you see clapboard on the front, you see shingles on the side. It's not unusual. And once again, what we're seeing here is a huge improvement from a building that looks horrible right now. And as far as parking is concerned, I don't see any issue with that. It's licensed, it's allowed. And again, whatever's being done from what I can see is going to be a huge improvement. So anyways, that's just my input. I don't think we need to make this any more complicated than it is. So thank you.
And we always welcome your input, and I agree with you. So, okay. Other, Commissioner Cronin?
Sorry.
That's all right, you don't need to apologize, really.
The parking lot, I mean, I think it sounds like we're kind of saying, well, it is existing now, so we're going to leave it there, but right now it's dirt, correct? Around that?
It's gravel.
All gravel?
Yep.
So will you
Dirt and
be,
gravel.
will you be paving that over?
We will not be.
You're going to leave it all dirt and gravel?
We'll be bringing in new gravel, so it looks fresh,
Okay,
and lining it with, timbers, so it's clean, but it will not be paved.
okay, so can we confirm then the number that this location, the parking spots at this location actually is licensed for right now? Is there a way we can confirm that? So if it's actually licensed for 15 and they've been parking 25 cars there, I just want to make sure we're not adding.
Maybe we can tackle that by saying you're not extending the parking, right? Other than what is already there.
No,
And we-
we're not changing anything with parking, basically the same it's been parked.
Jim?
Yeah, the recommendation might be that it's in conformance with the special permit that's on the property, because
Yeah,
it does have a certain number. I'm sorry, I didn't bring it with me, but we could certainly condition it so that it's spelled out in our decision that it won't extend it beyond that.
Whatever it has right now. I just wanted to make sure, because it's not something that we want to make sure we're just adding on to it. Yes.
I think that's an excellent recommendation, thank you. Public comment, any? Okay, so I am going to ask for one of the commissioners I'm going to close public comment and ask
Thank you.
for one of the commissioners to make a motion on the findings.
I move that the commission find the application to be compatible with the preservation and protection of the districts on 27 Pleasant Street in Hyannis.
Is there a second? Seconded? Okay, Commissioner Needham,
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty,
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
I also say aye. I think it will be a very pleasant change to go there. So, would a commissioner like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please?
I move to issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application at 27 Pleasant Street in Hyannis as described in the submitted materials.
Second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Doherty,
Aye.
Commissioner Needham,
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
I also say aye. Congratulations, and thank you for working with us on that.
Thank you so much.
Next one. Eric Leckstrom, manager for, Meager Construction, 585 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 115, with regard to exterior renovation.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. If I could ask you to please sign in,
Sure.
and let me know if you need those parcel IDs and map. Fill those in later if you don't have them.
I think it's 308115.
Yep, you have it.
We also have Richie and Ronnie Mehta, the property owners, with us as well, so.
Welcome.
So we are proposing a front facade renovation at 585 Main Street for the Islands, Port Cargo, and Jewel Craft storefronts. Currently, right now, the upper front facade is being held on with some metal kind of straps. It's kind of leaning over, so it's in need of being redone and mainly, kind of a safety issue at the moment, but also, revitalizing the front of the store and kind of bringing everything up to date and giving it a new fresh outlook.
Anything else?
No, I think that, that covers, well, basically all the, we'll remove what's there existing. The windows and doors are going to stay the same, so it's mainly just facade, renovation, updating and using AZEK material, which once painted will look like wood, just to bring everything up to date and fresher look.
I was admiring how well you presented this on here when I was reviewing it today. Any questions for clarification from the commissioners, please?
You mean the top is going to be wood across the top?
So the top right now is wood. We would be removing what's there, replacing it with AZEK. So we're going to have, I believe the drawings attached, basically like a picture frame, kind of a shaker panel with the sign set in the center of each.
What color is that going to be? Is it gonna-
Right now, we have a couple different color options we're going with. So on the application, we have like a white trim with, kind of a beige accent color, or like a bird's egg, like robin's egg blue color with the white.
Yeah. Copper accent.
Yep. And then the lighting, we'd be replacing the lighting that's there too, so that would be a copper gooseneck lights, probably 2 over each sign.
Any other questions from the commissioners?
The signs, will the signs be new, or they, well?
Islands is going to just have theirs just pulled down, repainted, same existing. Port Cargo is staying as is. And then Jewel Craft is in the midst of, we kind of told them, your sign's outdated, let's get it kind of matching. We're doing all this work through the property, let's make it all clean and symmetrical. So they're in the works of, I think they'll be reaching out to you guys for the permitting for the sign.
And this is for who again, please? It's doing the
Jewel
Jewel Craft. Okay.
Those are nice. I'd like
Yeah,
to
I
see
think
those.
it's
Those are
nice,
nice. The existing Port Cargo and Islands is nice.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions from the commissioners? Staff? Jim?
Let's see, for confirmation, no new signage, lighting. I got as copper gooseneck. I do, we probably should settle on or leave it up to the applicant for the blue or beige. Whatever the commission prefers, either blue or beige, or that either works, and as long as the applicant continues it throughout. No further clarifications.
Town councilors? Liaison? Nope. Jim, you took the question right out of my mouth, because I have had a question on color, blue or beige. But I think if we could, in the motion that we come to, put blue or beige to coordinate with planning, that it's appropriate on the list for historic colors. Is that fair?
Sure, I think that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was even actually just looking at your molding and the wall, it might be like a kind of like that kind of setup where like, just sometimes the blue, when you paint it, it might just be like, oh my God, that's horrible. So it's one of the things, until we can just get an idea of what the paint color looks like against it, we'll determine which way we kind of lean.
Jim and Karen are very good at working with you on that.
So we're deciding the whole thing is either going to be blue or beige, or
Well, basically, so on the drawing, we have, there'll be picture frames, so if we do, and then there's attached photos too, like this one here. So this has like a beige, center panel, so that would kind of be behind the sign if we go that route, and then, a lighter trim color around,
I got it.
Yeah, that, I think would bring a whole new look to that corner.
I think so
it would.
too.
I think so too.
Yeah, like I said, we've owned the property for 55 years, so it's like,
Wow.
we want to make sure when we do it right, and it's something that's gonna stand the test of time, not something that's too modern, and 10 years later, like, what the heck did we do?
Right. And the blue does look really dated now, yeah.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
The signs will really pop with the new colors behind
Yeah.
too.
I think so.
Okay, opening it up for public comment. No public comment. How do we feel about it?
I think it's gonna look good. I like it.
It'd be us
Anyone else have anything to say? Okay, so I'll close public comment. Would one of the commissioners like to make a motion on the findings, please?
I move the commission finds this application to be incompatible with the preservation and protection of the district. That's 585 Main Street, Hyannis.
Second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Needham. Okay, so Commissioner Doherty,
Aye.
Commissioner Needham,
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
I also say aye. Would a commissioner like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please?
I move to issue a certificate of appropriateness to the application at 585 Main Street, as described in the submitted materials.
And can I also add on to that and to coordinate with planning on the blue or the beige for appropriate historic colors?
Sure.
Fair? Okay. Second, anyone? Seconded, 2 seconds. Okay, Commissioner Needham. Aye. Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
I also say aye. Congratulations. It looks like it's really going to be nice.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very
Very
much.
nice. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank
Drive
you.
carefully.
Thank you.
Good night. Right along. I can't remember the last time we had 9.
Yeah, look at that.
Anyway, we only got, we're doing well. So, Sylvania, Bricklin, DBA, Echo Salon and Spa, 548 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 074, with regard to signage. And if I could please ask you to sign in. Parcel and map?
Please.
Map 308, parcel 074.
Yeah, both sign in. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
We're putting Echo Salon into the former Spilt Milk space. They had existing signage there, so we're looking to basically utilize a similar footprint with a new design, of course. You probably see representatives of that, as well as a flag permit and an open-close sign.
Or did you have anything more to say?
That's all.
With the flag permit, what would that be doing to the, would it be similar to having like an open sign? Would that be out all the time? Do you take it in?
Yeah, it would only be when she wants to put it out there, like if it's slow and you want walk-ins, similar to the Daily Paper, they have an open flag.
Okay, that's
So it
what I
would
was
say
just-
like salon open or something to that effect. There's a representative in there, it might not be that exact one, but we couldn't find one that said salon open in the search. It hasn't been designed yet.
And then the open and closed?
The design of that one was done by the sign company.
This goes inside of the, just for the people outside know it's open, and it's
You-
something small enough.
Just-
Yeah.
just
When I
on
have
the
the
door.
hooks, then I think I attached the picture of the hooks.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
something inside, when it's small and.
It's not illuminated.
I need clarification on the flag, the opened. Is this something that we allow on Main Street? I don't really see too many of them. And I just have this vision of every store having open and closed flags running down Main Street. Is this something we just do, or?
Yeah, there is allowed trade flag signage in our zoning to allow for one sign per business, one trade flag sign per business if they so chose. Yes, and you're right. I mean, technically, every business could sit their flags out there, but it doesn't seem to go in that direction at this time, at least.
I think there's only one or two that I can think of on Main Street.
I don't remember seeing them, that's why
I think they're
I don't
further
even know.
down, but I didn't see them as intrusive or anything.
Well, most of them are open signs, so they usually come in at the end of the day, so it's only going to be there during the day through traffic, and at night, it's brought in so that you don't have that, obstruction if people are walking down the street. And I'm sure that it would have to be in compliance with the height.
Yeah.
So that when it hits to the street level, it's not, or sidewalk level, it's not hitting anybody.
You don't want it flapping in people's faces.
We have
And you did
I took a
indicate that when
picture
she
for the
chooses
next
to
door
put
that
it
they
out,
need.
so that
Yeah,
probably
so
would
I
make
see that, and
Yes.
they take theirs in, so if you take it in at night, I don't see them.
She needs additional traffic, because a lot of times in a salon environment, you're fully booked. So you're not looking for walk-ins all the time.
It does say that trade flags may not be larger than 3 feet by 5 feet, and I see that it's 5 by 4 that you want, so that's an extra foot.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Yeah, we can,
Our new commissioner has done her homework.
3 by 5, please. I've got the book.
That must have been a typo in there.
it must be my,
Good catch, actually.
Good catch.
So it'd be it's 3 by 40?
3 by 5.
yeah, we can keep the,
Yep.
Can we get you to adjust it to the requirements?
That sounds good.
You to adjust it to the requirements, okay. Good catch. I didn't even catch that one.
Homework.
You did. Any other questions from the commission? No? Open it up to public comment? Nope. And so staff, any comments on that?
No, nothing further. Thank you.
Okay. Town council liaison?
I'd just like to say, I think the sign, the way you've written the echo is very attractive, and I think it'll really fit nicely. It's beautifully done.
It is.
Really,
I
really
think so,
nice.
too.
Thank you.
Any others? No? Okay. So what do the commissioners think about it?
I like the sign, it brings some nice class to the
It has class to it.
area. Nice, nicely done.
Okay. So I will close public comment. Would one of the commissioners like to make a motion for the findings on the signage and flag? And I would ask that you include an adjustment on size to meet the requirements.
On the flag.
On the flag.
I move that the commission find the application to be compatible with the preservation and protection of the district, and the flag meet the standards of size by 3 by 5.
And as planning will help you with that, I think, was it exactly 3 by 5 or was it 3 something by 5, something inches, wasn't it?
Says 3 by 5.
Yeah, 3 by 5. That's a standard flag
By
size.
5, okay, so 3 by 5. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
Commissioner Needham?
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
I also say aye. Would a commissioner like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please?
I move to issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application at 548 Main Street, as described in submitted materials.
And amended
And
as per
amended
the
to
findings.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
I also say aye. Congratulations. I think that'll really look nice, and I like the sign that you put
Thank you
together,
so
or the flag, or sign that you put together. Excellent.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Beautiful
That's a
sign.
May.
Beautiful
Good
sign.
luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Rafael Silva, DBA Casino and Bar at 640 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 053, with regard to a sign, please. Hi, good evening. Thank you for bearing with us throughout the first date.
Save the best for last.
There you go, the best for last, you're right.
Right here?
Yes, please, and if you could sign it. Do you need the map and parcel, or are you okay?
Actually, I do, sorry.
Map 308? No problem. Parcel 053.
015. Right, Good evening, everyone. So we're here for the sign for 640 Main Street. They're going to open up a new pizza place over there, and they hired us to fabricate and install their sign and design their sign. They have a really clean and nice logo. So our idea is to, I brought a sample here, fabricate individual stainless steel brush letters. Beauty about this material is that it will not rust, it won't lose its characteristics for a very long, forever. And as per the design, these are gonna be individually mounted with studs, so no backer panel. They will be illuminated with gooseneck lamps that will be black and they're metal, that will shine over the sign. And right now it's showing, I'm pretty sure they will renovate this place, so we're just hired for the sign, but they will go above the window, so it's not above a doorway. And I guess that's all I gotta say. So as far as thickness, this is roughly the thickness of the sign of each letter. So
And
it-
size.
Well, not size,
Okay.
not size. So the size of the sign is 84 inches by 40 inches, which is roughly 23 square feet. They have a really large facade. Their logo are, in my opinion, pretty good proportions, not too narrow, not too tall, so it will fit in that facade really nice. We'll have up and bottom space, and that's pretty much it.
That looked much smaller than I thought what I read in the materials, so I thought, better
It's
clarify
just that we
that.
fabricate these in-house, so I figured I'd brought a sample so you
That's
guys can
fine.
actually see the
That's
material.
fine.
Yeah, that'll make it look nice.
Clarification from the
Can I
commission?
get perspective on 640 Main Street? Is that the old Sweetwater's?
I think it
I'm
is.
sorry, now I'm dating myself.
I just said that to Jen.
It's almost across the street from Paramount.
Okay, yeah.
That is-
Oh, I'm glad to see somebody coming in there.
Yeah.
Any other?
I think it looks nice.
It looks nice.
Looks very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're absolutely correct. That's why I mentioned out, and I brought a revised rendering with the lights on it, just because I understand, usually when we do sign permits and we do no lighting, that means it's not internally lit or backlit also. So this is gonna be externally lit by a gooseneck lamp.
We can amend, good catch, thank you. So we will have to amend that in any motions, please. No more questions on clarification. Staff, any questions? No. Or any clarifications?
All set, thank you.
Town council liaison? Nope. Okay. So what do the commissioners feel about it?
It looks nice.
Very nice.
I agree. Well, it sounds like we're ready. I'm going to close public comment since there's nobody here anyway. Okay, would a commissioner like to make a motion on the findings, please?
I move that the commission find the application to be compatible with the preservation and protection of the district.
Amendment for the
For
gooseneck light.
640 Main Street with amendment that it's a gooseback light, is that?
Gooseneck, black light, metal light. And there's how many of them?
3.
Three.
And they're black?
They're black and their material is, it's metal and the light bulb is LED.
Okay, is there a second on that, please?
Second?
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
Commissioner Needham?
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
Aye. Could somebody like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please?
I move that to issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application at 640 Main Street as described in the submitted materials with adjustment to the lighting.
Thank you, as per the amendments.
Second.
Seconded, thank you. Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
Commissioner Needham? Aye. Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
I also say aye, congratulations. I think that'll look really nice.
Very good, looks good.
Absolutely.
It's nice to see so many businesses and people really cleaning up Main
Yes,
Street and getting
I
it up
agree.
to par. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
So I don't have any matters.
Quick question, so we'll just get an email, because I already submitted the application online, so we'll just move forward now? Is that what happened? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
They'll take care of you.
Bye-bye.
So we don't have anything on not reasonably anticipated by the chair unless anybody has anything. I do want to Town Councilor Atlas something after the meeting in both regard to dates.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I got you.
Okay. Also, there is, well, approval of the March 1, 2023 minutes. Did everybody read them?
We approve the minutes of the March 1st meeting?
Second.
Okay. Jen, did you get to read? You weren't here, though, for the meeting, so you can't
No.
really vote. So I'm going to table those to the next time, because we don't have a quorum to actually vote. We have to have a minimum of 4. So thank you for the motion, but we will continue that to the next meeting, please. And thank you for putting those together. Okay, so the last item is, Jim, I'm going to ask you to elaborate, because we've recently had a joint meeting, which is kind of historical, with the HHDC and the Planning Department, they're both boards, but the commission and the board, with regard to some issues. I thought it was very productive. Do you want to clarify what that's all about?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be happy to. So the town, well, stepping back a little bit, so the town council has adopted the new zoning for downtown Hyannis, and part of the new zoning establishes many standards for form of new structures and renovations of existing structures here in downtown Hyannis. The next step, we thought, was to look at our existing guidelines that are in place within downtown Hyannis, and there's multiple jurisdictions involved, both the Historic Commission as well as the Planning Board, hence the joint meeting of both board and commission, to bring it all together and establish one unified document of design guidelines. So we received a grant from the state to perform this work, or at least start this work. And our first kickoff meeting to introduce the subject was last week, I believe it was. And from there, the request is a couple volunteers to initiate a working group from both this commission and the planning board to work with staff to start outlining how we could unify a document and then bring it back to all the board and the commission in a public setting to, discuss the details and iron out different design standards that could build on the great work of the updated zoning. So the request, I know we had some early discussion about who may be interested, but the request, at least we're hoping for 2 members. 3 is certainly fine. We just can't go to 4 because that's a quorum of the board. So
I
send it back to you.
will just add on to that. This is something that I actually requested a few years ago, and it's so nice to see that this is getting going. At that meeting, because I was one who actually urged that this start, I offered my services to go and volunteer for that. I do have a letter of correspondence from Jack Kay, who is our vice chair, who also holds the reserve seat as the HHDC architect. And he asked me to read it out. It says, "Good morning, Cheryl." This is March 30th, by the way. Just wanted to let you know how much I am looking forward to participating in the Planning Department's new proposal that includes input from HHDC commissioners. I hope that I will be confirmed as one of the representatives of the HHDC. I think that my resume demonstrates that I am well versed in matters such as these. During my career, I have been a licensed general contractor, a senior building inspector for a county, a licensed Massachusetts real estate broker, a licensed professional member of the International Code Council, and finally, for the last 23 years, a principal and director of construction administration department of an elite office architectural firm. I am an associate of the AIA member and an associate member of the Boston Society of Architects. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the HHDC meeting on April 5th, but I will be back on the Cape on April 9th. I am somewhat disappointed that there is no longer an opportunity to participate via Zoom process, as it provided a way for everyone to be included. Best regards, Jack Kay, Principal Director of Construction Administration. as I said, he's in California where he has another home, and they've had all these flooding and rain issues, and he's trying to get that cleaned up. Totally understandable. He actually offered to fly back for the meeting. That's dedication. But anyway, and also Commissioner Doherty also offered, and I verified with planning, we were co-chairing, which is the first time I've ever had to co-chair, which is fun, and that worked out very well, that we can have 3. So if everyone is okay, I'm going to make a motion that we take the 3. We can't go to 4, even though we have excellent commissioners. If we go to 4, we have a quorum. So if everyone's all right with that, yep, I'm going to make a motion that we accept those 3 for this representation. And
Second.
it's seconded by Commissioner Cronin. So Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
Commissioner King? Aye. Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
I also say aye. So that's done on there. I think that's really exciting stuff.
I didn't know I was supposed to write a resume, though.
Well, you weren't supposed to write a resume, but the thing is, Jack was concerned. He said, I'll fly back. And I said, well, why don't you write me a letter instead? Because that gets rather expensive to fly
Right.
back just for
Right.
that.
I'm glad I
But
didn't have to write one with those credentials.
I'm sure it would have been wonderful. So, okay, so we've tabled those. Photo group members, we've done that. Excellent. I want to thank staff for all of your input tonight and your help, and town council liaisons, Betty Lucky and Nick Gatzlis. Thank you very much for coming and for your input.
Could I just have a point of
Sure.
question is, if I wanted to have something brought up under our discussion, would that be something you do under matters not reasonably appointed, assigned by the chair at the next meeting, or do?
I'm happy to put it, if you want to give me a call, and I'm happy.
So that's sort of,
Outrageous, I'm happy to put it on the agenda.
okay, so I'll
I'll be
coordinate
happy,
that
yeah.
with you.
Is that all
we
right? And I'll
can
put it on the agenda as an agenda
the
item.
next time. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, everyone. This is your first official
I
HHDC
promise I'll
meeting.
read next time. I'll
Beautiful.
second
I
the
am
motion.
so impressed with your catching that.
Thanks for that.
All right, can I have a motion for an adjournment, please? Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
Commissioner Needham?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
I also say aye.